Hello everyone, so picking off where we last were, the scouts had finished reporting about the movement in Castrum Meridianum, so we will speak with Edelstein. Lieutenant Edelstein wishes to share a report with you concerning the Garlean's movements. We've been keeping a close eye on the Garlean garrison, and it would seem the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to the reconnaissance report that just came in, the squad seen leaving the castrum are too few in number to effectively take and hold our position. They will likely mount a swift assault and focus on the acquisition of resources. I have, of course, also shared this report with the Crystal Braves. They have decided to take to the field to meet this assault head-on. Pray report to Lieutenant Ascian and lend your much welcome strength to the counter-offensive. So, she was over here, if you recall. Oh, I guess they moved. They're all over here. Well, let's talk to them. Thancred. Be it squad of soldiers or some Magitech monstrosity, I shall allow no foe to harm the lovely Moonbrida. Papalamo. Considering the weapons she wields, I don't believe the lady is in need of additional protection. Given that axe, I would think not. Moonbrida, isn't it a beauty? A lady merchant in Revenant's Toll simply gave it to me. Said she was investing in the future or some such. Nita. Have you ever seen Moon swing her axe? Swipe, slice, cleave? There's really no stopping her. Ishtola. Now that is an impressive piece of steel. Ilrid. Right then, time to see if all this training has paid off. Relger, guide my blade. Alien, not myself. Or McCartsarmer. Glad to have you with us, Solarian. As I'm sure Lieutenant Edelstein has explained, the Garleans have deployed a small force from Castrum Meridianum. Their main column assembles to the north near Dulamud's Talons, but we've also spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. They wish you to rush forth and commit to battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Ilberd. Greetings, Scion. I understand the commander bids you and your fellows come lend a hand to the Braves. Greetings, Scion. I understand the commander bids you and your fellows come lend a hand to the Braves. With such mighty heroes at its disposal, the Fourth should have little trouble contending with aught the Garleans might throw at them. But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The Third was getting restless holed up in Ulda. As I marched them out here to fill any holes in the plant's defenses and add their numbers to your counterattack. The reinforcements are welcome. We've enough soldiers now to divide our own forces and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. Aye, 'twould be best to avoid staging a battle anywhere near this much ceruleum. Let's take this fight to the Garleans. A wise course indeed. I shudder to think of the consequences should any of these storage tanks be exposed to fire. If there are no objections, the Scion shall join the Fourth and give battle to this main column. You're with the Third, then, Warrior Light. Your job will be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching this processing plant. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Yuyuhase. The scouts should have a rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now. And so we need to head over there. Yuyuhase. A pleasure to be fighting at your side once more, Scion. Our operations invariably succeed when you're around, and victories are wont to pave the road to greater coin. Now this detached force we've been sent to eliminate has split into smaller squads, the better to conceal themselves within the terrain hereabouts. I imagine we'll need to split ourselves up as well to cover more ground, make sure we root out all these would-be raiders. And seeing as you're an army unto yourself, I've assigned you your own areas to scour clean of enemy soldiers. Aye, this will be simple search and destroy. We'll rendezvous back here when the task is done. Happy hunting, Scion. Yeah, it seems that they are more likely going to need aid with each other and none for me because, well, me? Apparently there's a spot over here. The fishing area. Also an area needed for, holy crap, that was really tall and big and I wasn't expecting that. I guess I'll zoom out a bit. And the next spot is over here. I guess it's gonna show us the spots as we go. Don't think I can get over this way. Oh look. Oh, I can! Sneaky, sneaky. Ah, shoot. Trying to help that person, but apparently I couldn't help them. And I guess that was it for there, so I'm gonna hop up onto my mount and head over to where I need to go. Which is apparently over there where the blue coats are. You Hase. You seem grim, Scion. I'll take it that I'll take that to mean that between us, more than a few Garleans won't make it back to the castrum. These Imperials, though, they certainly make us earn our pay. I might be a happy man if I never had to tussle with another of those Magitech horrors. It is time we bid this war-torn land farewell. I will contact the Fourth and let Lieutenant Eliane know the west is now clear. I would appreciate it if you would do the same when you report to Lieutenant Edelstein. Okay. So I guess we're reporting to Edelstein. And that took like 0 time at all. And Edelstein is over here. Edelstein. Lieutenant Sargon, what news of the Garleans? Well, there was that and this and, well, no. The raiding parties are no more, then? Excellent. The Yamajina engineers will be most relieved to hear that the plant is no longer in an immediate danger. Thank you again for your assistance. Complete. Edelstein. Lieutenant Edelstein appears concerned for Moonbreeda's well-being. You must be anxious for words of your fellows. Lieutenant Eliane has reported a sound victory over the main column, and informs me that the Scions have already returned their attention to the other duties. Oh, but one, that is. The Rubidan lady with the large axe? So it appears she has chosen to remain at the site of the battle. I know not what task keeps her from returning to civilization, but Northern Thanalan is no place to wander alone. Even for a capable sort such as her. I would certainly feel better about things if you could check on her before you continue on your way. So, I guess we are to head over to where Moonbreda is. Who is apparently over this way. Over here. Midgard's armor. I mean, Moonbreda. I was reading the other person's minion.
Hold on, I won't be a second. The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe.
I guess it's full now.
I know. As Urianger never tires of reminding me, an axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one. And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea. Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it? Aye, that ought to do it. So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed?
Nope, I'm blind.
The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether, which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade. I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
She senses me. A useful talent.
An Ascian. Are they onto us?
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Sharlayan. Keeper of knowledge. Seeker of truth. Meddler.
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath. Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabriales. And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of La Habrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
Oh, poor Muffin.
Oh, bugger.
Do settle down. You must concede that I acted in self-defense. But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light. Oh dear. Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee. Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken. Now is the time to claim the staff. With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
What did that bastard want with us? Nabriales, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious. But this staff... You say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff. Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Soir's staff. Minfilia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
Bravo. So, we're going to teleport to the Rising Stones, provided none of these bad guys fight or spot me before I can teleport. And they did not, so we're good. You're here. Master Louis Sua's staff is kept in the solar, isn't it? Quickly now.
You two!
So, you were able to divine my intent. What now, warrior of light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull, and quite incapable of barring my entry.
What do you mean?
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you. The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain. My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could only look on. But I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
You will not harm her!
Moonbreeder!
Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting? Ah, but I forget. My words fall upon deaf ears.
The staff is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed? The staff Tupsimati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power. Together with the horn, it can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings. How else do you think Louis Sois was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals? Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that.
If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now. But above all, I know that we cannot allow this staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it.
Insufferable woman. I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Elidibus would never let me hear the end of it. Very well. If you will not part with the staff, I will take you too.
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
Your quiz list now accessible. Yeah. Brita. Forget me about it. Go. Okay, okay. Definitely an interesting looking area. And I spy me a Manvilia, who is hanging in the air by purple flame.
You're safe. Thank the 12.
You may have bested me this day, but what of the next? What of all the days to come? Remember, light no longer holds sway here. I may return whensoever I wish, again and again and again. Eventually, you will falter, and the staff will be mine. Until next time, Scions.
There will be no next time. This is the end.
What trickery is this? No. No! Cannot! No!
Use Tube Samati to gather ether. Quickly, before he breaks free! Concentrate! Call to mind the time you struck down La Habrea with the Blade of Light. Why won't it work? Is it because we lack the blessing of light?
Damn it. So much ether. And it still isn't enough.
Fools! No mortal prison can contain me! I shall make you pay for your insolence!
Please, Mother Hydaelyn, hearken to our plea. Lend us your divine light. Why Can you not hear us? Do our words no longer reach you?
If only we had a bit more ether.
Moonbreeder, what are you doing?
Master Louisoix, I understand now. The choice you made. In death, there is life. Farewell, Urianger. You daft old coot.
Moonbreeder, no! You mustn't!
What? No! It cannot end! I am eternal! I am immortal!
Moonbreeder. She's gone. You did it, my friend. The Ascian is dead. This device is a legacy of Moonbreeder's toils and sacrifice. I shall hold on to it for safekeeping.
Minfilia, are you all right?
I am.
Oh, we were surveying northern Thanalan when we received the distress call. We returned as swiftly as we were able.
It seems you have everything in hand, however.
What happened here? Where is Moonbreeder?
She gave her life to temper the Blade of Light. I have no words.
Rather than await the inevitable, she took her fate into her own hands. Does Urianger know?
My friend, there is something I must tell you.
I heard all, my lady. The moon sinketh, taking her leave of the heavens, yet her passing heraldeth the coming of a new day. Moonbreeder hath fulfilled her destiny, hath she not? Long ago, far across the seas in the Charlayan motherland, Moonbreeder and I did study under the sage tutelage of Master Louisoix. Full oft did he impress upon us that knowledge existeth to serve the greater good. This sentiment, however, was contrary to the nation's policy of neutrality, which censured intercedence in the affairs of foreign lands. In spite of vehement opposition, he founded the Circle of Knowing, and journeyed hither to the heart of Eorzea. Through his noble sacrifice, was the realm spared its doom. Yet this great soul, whom all should rightly have honored, was branded a pariah in his own land. His peers did accuse him of forsaking his duty as a man of learning, and of meddling in the course of history. When he left Charlayan behind, Master Louisoix gave no word to signal his intent to Moonbreeder. Close as they were, as master and disciple, she was deeply wounded by the sudden exclusion from his confidence. Above all, however, she was confused. Try as she might, she could ill comprehend her master's motive. The slanders that were heaped upon him after his passing served only to inflame the turmoil within her. For years upon end, she knew not what to believe. Torn as she was twixt the man whom she revered and the man who forsook her and his duty both.
The Louisoix I knew would never forsake his duty, much less one of his own.
This I know full well, my lady. 'Twas not for want of love that Master Louisoix hid his intent. He but desired that Moonbreeder discover her own path, free of the shadow of his influence. Long did I contemplate revealing the truth to her, and long did I hold my peace. After all, was it not Master Louisoix's wish that she come to the truth unaided? I told myself it was, and resolved to let her suffer. Knowingly did I deny my friend the comfort she craved. And now she hath gone to her rest, with doubt still in her heart. Speakest thou in earnest? Did Moonbreeder truly come to understand Master Louisoix's will before the end? The realization hath set her free. She may now find the peace which hath for so long eluded her. Oh, Moonbreeder, my dearest, how I shall miss thee.
Moonbreeder gave her life that we might possess the means to defeat the Ascians. Her sacrifice must not be in vain. Let us continue her work on the Blade of Ether and see it to completion.
My lady, I would mourn Moonbreeder in mine own way. I beg your permission to return to the Waking Sands.
Of course, my friend. Take all the time you require. We shall be here should you have need of us.
Papalamo. She was counting on the theory that a soul's ether burned brightest at the moment of its passing. A scholar until the very end. Ida. Oh, man. I miss you so much already. Thancred. Would we have arrived a few moments sooner? Just a few moments. Y'shtola. Our list of grievances against the Ascians were already overlong. Must they continue to add to it? Minfilia. Never have I seen Urianger so utterly defeated. No one should be made to suffer such grief. We shall gather in the Charlayan Manor to celebrate Moonbreeda's life and mourn her passing. Minfilia. Minfilia wishes to gather the Scions and honor the fallen Moonbrita. As Moonbrita was a native of Sharlayan, I feel it is only fitting that we gather before the Mark of the Scholar. Are you familiar with the stone? 'Tis a monument found at Rathfrost and is sacred to Thaliak, guardian deity of the City of Learning. There shall we pray for our dear friend's soul and bid her a peaceful return to the light of the other crystal. Moonbrita showed us the way forward at the cost of her own life. What worth is her sacrifice if we do not follow where it leads? Let us gather at Rathfrost and show our respects for our fallen comrade. Then we shall continue with the work she began. Ida, I don't want to believe she's really gone. Papalamo. The loss of those close to you was never easy, and Ida was closer to Moonbrita than most. Thancred. As ever, I was a step too late. Y'shtola. Was there aught we might have done to save her? 'Tis foolish to torture oneself with such thoughts, while the heart is oft times deaf to quiet reason.
Forgive me, Moonbrita. Had I been quicker or wiser, but I was not, and you paid the price. But you would not suffer us to wallow in our sorrow, would you? You would tell us to pick ourselves up and get on with it. And so we shall. We shall defend this realm and her people to the last.
Life for death, a fair exchange. Other bargains will be struck.
And so now we need to speak with Minfilia over at the Rising Stones. And just a random note, the current mood of this area is rather fitting. Gloom. Y'shtola. The Rising Stones feel somehow colder. Moonbrita always carried with her such an abundance of warmth and cheer. That much is true. Thancred. We must find some means of protecting ourselves from Ascian intrusions. There must be a way. Ida. I don't feel much like talking at the moment. If you could just give me some time. Papalamo. I loathe to see Ida in such pain, but I have not the words to comfort her. Can you imagine it? I, Papalamo, the one who has an eloquent comment for every situation, I'm at a loss for words. Such is the cases of death. Entrance to the Solar. Minfilia. Though we have said our farewells, the pall of sadness has diminished but little. Forgive me. As antecedent, 'tis my job to be the pillar of strength for all others to lean upon. Yet I also believe that grief we feel now is precious in its own way, and not to be lightly swept aside. Do you not agree, Celebrian? Absolutely, positively, no question of doubt. Tis as if a dagger has been thrust into my breast. But 'tis a plain we must learn to bear if we are to forge ahead with our duty. The battles we have fought have taken the lives of so many. Louisoix, Moonbrita, our fellows at the Waking Sands. Their spirit and dedication to our cause, however, will never be lost as long as we rise to fight once more. I hardly need remind you of this, of course. 'Tis for my own benefit that I repeat these words, a reaffirmation of mine own chosen path. If I do not rebuild the foundation of my resolve, I am like to collapse in a fit of weeping. My apologies again, Celebrian. There is no other to whom I could display such weakness. You are my pillar of strength, and I fear I shall have need of your steadfast presence in the days to come. A victory won, a comrade lost. To honor the fallen, the living forge ever on, towards the light of a new day. Minfilia. Minfilia has a request to make of you. Have you a moment, Celebrian? I believe Yida wished a word with you. I should consider it a personal favor if you would lend a sympathetic ear to her troubles. She has not been herself since Moonbrita's passing, and my heart aches to see her so downcast. Yida should be somewhere within the Rising Stones. Pray lend her a sympathetic ear, my friend. Yida. Yay! Hey, it's Celebrian! Great! Oh, it's no use. I'm trying to stay positive, but it's just hard, you know? The thing is, I know Moon would tell me off if she saw me moping around like this. Which is why I decided to cheer myself up by getting her a special flower. I placed an order for a moon daisy with Rowena a little while ago, and it's ready to be picked up. The trouble is, I found Rowena a bit difficult at the best of times, and, well, this isn't one of them. I know it's silly, but I just can't face it at the moment. So I was wondering, do you think you could maybe collect it for me? I have the coin to pay for the flower right here. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you, and the daisy at the Rothfrost. So, we need to speak with Rowena, who is outside in the populous hustle and bustle. Sort of. Technically she's in a building, but right over here. Rowena. What can I do for you today, adventurer? Eldritch trinket to trade? Flower payment. A sack of gil received from Yida in exchange for a single moon daisy. Hey, you got you running errands now. Them Scions really know how to make the most of your talents, don't they? Sending the savior of Eorzea to the bleeding market. Fine use of your time, that is. Seriously though, you'd best learn how to say no, or they'll have you mucking out the chocobo stables next. Anyway, what was it that you were here to pick up? The moon daisy, was it? Here then, take it, and tell that Yida lass I've got a wide selection of headwear in stock if she ever decides to replace that dowdy old mask of hers. Oh, it's no, she needs to. I expect Rowena wouldn't be quite as blunt as she is had she known what the daisy was for. And so we need to head back over to the Wraithfrost there. Yida. Ugh, Rowena can be so annoying. She just will not take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, she insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable. And when I tell her I like it just fine the way it is, she says again and again, or again and then again and then again. It drives me crazy. What I mean to say is I really appreciate you doing this for me. So, anyway, let's see it. Moon Daisy. Moon daisies are often hung to rafters, trees, or other elevated locations to represent the celestial body when performing holy rituals to the goddess Menfina during daylight hours. Moonbrita loved these things, you know. I hope that somewhere, somehow, she knows I'm still thinking of her.
I'll never forget you, Moon. None of us will.
The song riseth to a crescendo.
Is that what I think it is?
Superman?
Hello, can you hear me?
No.
We have received grave tidings from Ishgard. Pray return to the Rising Stones at once.
And so we need to make our way to the Rising Stones. And Philia. We shall press onwards as we have always done. I will not squander the sacrifices of our fallen friends by surrendering to a paralysis born of fear. Elfino, my apologies for the interruption. I was deeply saddened to learn of Moonbrida's passing. Her loss will be sorely felt. Alas, recent developments in Ishgard leave us little time to mourn. The envoy from Coerthus will soon arrive, and we must hasten to hear her report. Elfino waits the arrival of the Ishgardian envoy. The envoy is here. I thank you for receiving me at such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I will forego the usual pleasantries, if I may. Certainly. You come with news of the Dravanians? Aye. The dragons have begun their attack in earnest. The first wave reached the Central Highlands a short while ago, and battle was joined soon thereafter. Sir Emmerich himself sallied forth with a contingent of temple knights and several companies of the noble house's finest. Though the beasts were ultimately forced into retreat, our victory, if such it may be called, came at the cost of many of our own. Too many. We will not withstand a second wave should the Dravanians renew their assault. Paint a grim picture, my lady. It is reinforcements you seek, then? We do. Though it pricks our pride, it is plain we cannot protect Ishgard with our ranks thus thinned by the horde. Sir Emmerich would meet with you to discuss the possibility of enlisting your aid. Very well. I shall depart for Coerthus at once. I must warn you, however, that the involvement of the Crystal Braves is by no means assured. Our commitment to quelling the unrest in Ul'dah must take precedence. It is with such contingencies in mind that I must make another request. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are known for sharing close ties with all three of the grand companies of Eorzea. Would you consent to plead our case to their leaders? Though I will gladly appeal to the grand companies on your behalf, I dare not promise a favorable reply. You need say no more. Considering our past dealings with the Orsian Alliance, I can well imagine how our plea will be received. The fate of Ishgard hangs in the balance. We must explore every avenue still open to us, no matter how unpromising. I see. Very well. I shall send envoys to each of the allied nations and have them present your request directly to the heads of the Grand Companies. In the event that your plea does receive a favorable answer, I know that any support is certain to be conditional. Demands will be made of Ishgard. That is only to be expected. Rest assured that I speak with Sir Emmerich's authority in this matter, and that our actions are fully sanctioned by the Holy See. Which brings me to my final request. I personally appeal to you, Warrior of Light. The Lord Commander much desires to speak with you, regardless of your fellows' involvement. You faced Midgard Stormer and survived. Anything you can share of your experience may yield us an advantage over our foe. Thank you. You wear the mantle of hero well. 'Twould seem the road leads us both to Camp Dragonhead. Seek me out when you arrive, Celebrian.
The sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. Only then will the cycle be broken. Brothers and sisters of the heavens, we raise our voices and join you in the chorus. The sinner's feeble magics are undone. Come, claim your retribution.
In Filia, we have reports from a number of frontier settlers. It would seem the dragons have come as far as Mordona. And I'm just going to see if anybody else has anything to say, and then we'll head over to Dragonhead. Tataru. If you're looking for the Scions, they've already left for the Alliance nations. I do hope Ishgard will be saved. Phileaman. Considering recent history, will there be any amongst the Alliance willing to aid the Holy See? Ishgard has few friends at the bargaining table. The Guardian? Higiri. Though I have never seen one myself, it is said that Dragon's Lair just beyond the borders of... Though I have never seen one myself, it is said that Dragon's... Okay, nope, that's not me. Though I have never seen one myself, it is said that there is a Dragon's Lair just beyond the borders of my homeland. I think there's some words here missing. Should events take turn for the worse, we are fortunate that the settlement is such a popular crossroads for so many veteran adventurers. Rebuilder. The town has been calm through all this talk of war. But if those dragons come to Revenant's Toll, there'll be panic aplenty, I'd wager. I agree wholeheartedly. So, without further ado, we will go ahead and head to Camp Dragonhead. And we need to speak with Elfino. Elfino. It seems I was the swifter slubbering. You two, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host is yet to make an appearance. The murmurings about camp tell of some manner of trouble at the gates of judgment. In Lord Commander's absence, I suggest we visit the place and find out what is afoot. And so that is over this way. And helps if I go the right direction. Elfino. Mark the nervous glances our friends share. The dragons have attacked, yes, but something else has occurred. Something unexpected. Let us question the knights here ere we proceed. Bothered Bowman. The gates of judgment are much more than mere doors. They are the outermost layer of Ishgard's magical wards. If our first line of defense can be so easily shattered. Dyspeptic Dragoon? Nope, not my chocobo. Heretic scum, how dare they meddle with our divine protections? I shall rid our nation of blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. Okay, Trembling Temple Knight. We need not fret over much. There are yet several layers of arcane protection that shield the city from invasion. Mother will be fine. And I guess there's one more. Ah, no, Tenterhooked Temple Knight. When I laid eyes upon Lady Iceheart, I felt the marrow freeze within my bones. Elfino. Twould seem the heretic struck the first and most telling blow against Ishgard. Scions, we expected you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies. We chanced to hear that there had been trouble at the gates, and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. Then you have learned of the heretics' treachery. Lady Iceheart led a force of her followers against our defenders, and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. But let us speak more of this back at the camp. Sir Emmerich awaits you. Elfino. Elfino seems eager to return to Camp Dragonhead. Lady Iceheart has grown bold indeed if she would risk direct action against the city. Come, let us do as we were bid and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Harshifont will know where Sir Emmerich means to receive us. And so back to Camp Dragonhead we go. Harshifont. 'Tis reassuring indeed to behold the countenance of a friend when one's homeland teeters upon the very brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence stokes the flames of courage within my heart. But you did not come to Dragonhead to listen to my prattling. The Lord Commander has arrived and would treat with you in the intercessory. Sir Emmerich has now arrived in Camp Dragonhead. Pray make your way to the intercessory. House Forton. Greetings, madame. Shall I show you inside? Yes, please. Elfino. Ishgard's future hangs in the balance. If the city's salvation rests on our assistance, I cannot well withhold it. Even so, I mean to make Sir Emmerich sweat for his reinforcements. On this occasion, feigned disinterest may serve the cause of Yorzian unity better than naked philanthropy. Come, let us find out what concessions the Holy See is willing to make. Emmerich. Too far away. Emmerich. I thank you for coming with such haste, and apologize for my absence. Suffice it to say, Lady Iceheart and her heretics have much to answer for. Yes, we are but recently returned from the Gates of Judgment ourselves. Given the circumstances, we quite understand if you would prefer to postpone our appointed audience. On the contrary, Master Elfino, I think it more important than ever that this meeting take place. Rest assured, I shall return to my post in Ishgard's walls for a moment the moment our business is concluded. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally, Ascian. May I present to you Ishgard's Azure Dragoon? An impressive title, though I confess I know precious little of the Order of Dragoons. They are formidable warriors all, yet even among such masters of the lance, Ascian is without equal. He, out of all warriors of Ishgard, was chosen to wield the power of dragons, and may thus contend with any Dravanian. You flatter me overmuch, Lord Commander. So you were the adventurer of whom they spoke. I see now why my blood fair sang in anticipation of our meeting. Well, now that we have all been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I would share with you what we have learned of Iceheart's design, as confessed by the heretics taken captive after the assault on the gates. 'Twould seem the Lady Iceheart and the Dravanians share a common goal. The reclamation of Nidhogg's stolen eye. Nidhogg, one of the 7 great worms. His name featured prominently in your nation's history. Though once defeated by the hero Heldrath, the beast is said to have terrorized Coerthas since Ishgard's founding. Aye, many are the scars our walls bear from Nidhogg's relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Haldrog, plucked from the bested worm's skull, known simply as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard, and one possessed of untold power. Should it ever be returned to Nidhogg, the dread creature would be restored to the height of his strength, and then no wall or ward we could erect would be stout enough to deny him. My vengeful son hath waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depths of his rancor, says the voice of Midgard Sormer. The eye itself is a secret deep within the vault. It is kept under heavy guard, surrounded at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. But those stout walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics. The dragons are another matter. There are individuals within the Dravanian horde whom an entire company of knights would labor to repel, to say nothing of Nidhogg himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength, though the endless march of years the dragons endure. Patient, calculating, inexorable. You must understand, these creatures do not share a perception of time. And that is especially true of the great worms. They who spend centuries in slumber only to wake and resume their campaign as if mere hours had passed. It has been 20 years since Nidhogg last darkened our skies. 20 years for him to gather his strength, and for us to bolster our defenses. And now, just as he seems primed to return, the heretics strike at the gates. You believe that Lady Iceheart is in league with the creature, then? Of that we cannot be certain. Though we know the heretics covet the eye, we have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such questions aside, we must needs address the ragged hold their mistress has seen fit to render in Ishgard's protections. 'Tis a weakness the Dravanians are not like to leave untested. So it would seem. You have described your plight in admirable detail, Lord Commander, yet I cannot help but wonder at your candor. Why share such sensitive information with us? I shall speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. This much I expected. Unlike our arrangement concerning the Keeper of the Lake, however, only you stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter. I fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict which concerns only Ishgard and Dravania. When the Eorzean Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance during Operation Archon, you refused us. Does it not seem grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives in your private war? I make no attempt to defend my country's conduct. I only ask that you consider what would follow were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our city to the ground, the horde would have little cause to linger, and most would return to their lairs in Dravania. Soon thereafter, the ruins of Coarthus would be buried in snow, and the land would become the sole province of beasts and beastmen. Until the Garleans' arrival, that is, for you may be certain that the Empire would not hesitate to claim Coarthus. They would not even have to draw steel. An imperial province sharing border with Mordona? 7 hells. Ahem. Very well, we will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of a great worm may have shaken the firmament, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our Ishgardian brothers to face the coming horde alone. Nor did I ever think you would. Now upon the matter of the roar. Allow me, Sir Emmerich. Through the power of the Eye, have become the vessel of Nidhogg's strength. His essence has stolen into my very blood. Fear not, I am in full control of my faculties, I assure you. Of facilities, faculties, whatever, and the Eye itself is of no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear it with me wheresoever I go. Its lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidhogg's voice. Then the worm who roared? Was Nidhogg. Aye, he means to hurl his horde against Danifer's collar, and shatter the remaining wards that protect the city. There can be no doubt, the worm has summoned his minions to war. And Miss Callie says hi. Right, Callie? Meow. Emmerich, I'm painfully aware of the hypocrisy of our request and the self-inflicted nature of our predicament, but should it serve to deliver my people from their unkind fate, gladly shall I bow my head and beg for aid. I expect, nay, welcome, the coming storm of scorn and disdain. Estinian, Nidhogg, he is the source of our suffering. If we do not fell the worm, these endless clashes count for naught. Elfino. Though the circumstances are far from ideal, this desperate endeavor will at least provide us an opportunity to bring the sister states of Eorzea together in common cause. Sir Emmerich was more ruthless in his negotiations than I had anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? Though the Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open its gates to outsiders, I suspect that softening of the Holy See's attitude towards the foreign cooperation comes at something of a bittersweet victory. The days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. Elfino. Elfino is ready to begin making preparations for war. If we are to aid the Ishgardians in this war of theirs, preparations will have to be made, and soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the Rising Stones and make our report to the antecedent. Ere we sally forth in defense of Ishgard, we must needs consult with the antecedent. Come, let us return to the Rising Stones. Kinda creepy, spawning right into that. Ahem. Minfilia.
Alfino, It is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned?
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
So this was all but a taste of what's to come.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
All those people.
Alphinaud is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
Then you agree that we have no choice.
Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war. But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go. The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end. For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the Council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
That was interesting. My apologies for hitting buttons too soon, and I will read what Alphinaud had said in just a moment. So, blah blah blah, indeed, the rain host. Then you have no agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard. And then Manfilia continues, let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war. And then continues from that. And so that is it for this video. I will continue on in the next video. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching.